Narmada, thank you very much for inviting me to this Ideas Conclave. Very, very happy to be here. And to begin this session, it was so wonderful to see Bharat here. I'm a huge admirer of Bharat. When I was Tourism Minister of India, I tried to get him to make a couple of movies, but he was far too busy to do my work. But it's amazing to see his work. I think one thing which really struck me is the rhythm. That was the theme of his, the movie. I think for over 1,000 years, India had no rhythm. We were lost. We allowed people to walk into this country. Finally, a man comes after 1,000 years and says, sorry, this country belongs to us. This India belongs to us. Mr. Narendra Modi is the courageous that. Sorry, this country is not for everybody just to walk in and invade. This country belongs to us. Finally, here was a man with courage, with conviction, and that man is Modi. I've never been a BJP man all my life. I've been a civil servant in the IAS for 27 years. I quit. I became an independent MLA supporting the Marxists in Kerala. So I've not been a BJP man before. I resigned from the house in 2011 after spending about 4.5 years. I joined the BJP because I said India needs somebody with a backbone, with the determination and courage to lead India. And I quit and joined the BJP in 2011. I'm very happy to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a theme. This country belongs to us. And if there is somebody who can stand up and say, this country belongs to us and we can do things, I think we need to support that man, that cause. I think that's a basic message. We need to get the rhythm back into our country, which was lost for 1,000 years. Why did India lose? I think for 5,000 years, we manifested to the world that we had all the knowledge, all the wisdom which nobody else in the whole world had. We were the intellectual leaders. I think there is no doubt in that. We were the intellectual leaders. We had the ideas. But unfortunately, there came a time when we lost our spine. We tried to sabotage each other. We had large, powerful kingdoms, but we tried to sabotage each other. And finally, we say, we need to stand together. This country belongs to us. How do we strengthen this country? I'm basically an action man. All my life, I've tried to do things. Like somebody was saying in the morning, it must have been so difficult to be a bureaucrat. Not at all. Let me tell you, in 27 years in the IAS, I've done exactly what I wanted to. I never received a single telephone call to do anything illegal from any politician. Not one telephone call. We can do it. This country has the power. We have the capacity. And when we fail, we put the blame on the political executive. Why do we do that? What's the reasons for failure? And then we need to take it forward. If you are 1.5 million people writing the civil service, and 100 people get selected into the IAS, ladies and gentlemen, and another 100 get selected into the IPS, if these men cannot do their job, ultimately the blame will come on Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, on the Home Minister, and everybody else. Why can't we have men of courage who can stand up and say, let's do it? Why can't we do it? Is it so difficult? I'm very sorry. I'm being apologetic for being autobiographical. When I came to Delhi as Commissioner, Delhi Development Authority, over 25% of our land was encroached. I said, let's make a list of people who have encroached land. And we found the top 10 were the top 10 politicians of Delhi, and number 1 on the list was the man who was responsible for the 1984 riots in Delhi. And I said, let's take on him. My entire office, my 36,000 employees said, sir, he's burned alive 6,506. Tomorrow you will be burned alive. I said, sorry. There are very simple principles in my life which are very simple for anybody to implement. Just take on this man. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and not the guy who pickpockets 10 rupees. 10,000 people on 10,000 policemen with guns, 25 bulldozers in front of that, and me and my dog with my Stetson hat right in front. We knocked down 200,000 square feet building in 36 hours, brought it to dust. Now, is it difficult? Am I saying that I'm a hero? No. What I did, anybody else in this world can do. Anybody else. That's the reason I speak about it. Over the next 5 years, you know how many illegal mansions we demolished? 14,310 illegal mansions we demolished in Delhi, including the houses of 6 cabinet ministers. Is it possible? Very simple. I'm not a man of astounding brilliance or abilities. You have that backbone, you can do it. Now, this is what has been demonstrated by this government, by Modi government, over the past 5 years. Let's start with the reforms. He said this country belongs to the people. You take the performance over the past 5 years, then I will come to the Citizenship Act. He said this country belongs to the people. Everybody has a right to live with dignity, starting with toilet construction of 105 million toilets, which is the biggest revolution in the history of the world. I'm reiterating again, it's the biggest revolution in the history of the world. Just done over 5 years, to providing electricity to every household in this country, because I've grown up in a house in a village without electricity, so I know the value, what electricity really means. To bringing insurance to everybody, accident insurance, life insurance, to providing medical aid to everybody, up to 5 lakhs, you can go to any hospital, get treated. And I don't know whether some of you know these figures. Today, 93% of girls in this country go to a school. 93%. It even beats the boys. Only 89% of boys go to school today. 93% of girls go to a primary school. 81% of girls go to a high school. And 52% of girls go to a higher secondary school. All these figures are higher than the figures for boys. You know the dramatic changes made in the life of the country. He's brought dignity to people. This is courage. This is backbone. Every 10 years, those who rule India, they came out with a new slogan, Garibi Hatao, this, that. What do? They just sold off the country in slices. Here is a man, here is a government which came and said, sorry, our words don't speak, our actions will speak. And look at the kind of dramatic changes that's been brought about to the country, to the dignity of the poor person. Now, this is courage. Finally, he said, historically, there have been too many wrongs. Let's sort them out. Article 370. One fine morning, shocked the country, Article 370 abolished. My simple question is, I come from Kerala. People keep asking me, where am I from? I think it's a very strange question. I was conceived in Maharashtra, delivered in Kerala, did my schooling in Kerala, did my college all over the country, including Shillong. I am from the Kerala cadre of the IAS. I was Commissioner of Delhi Development Authority. I worked in Jharkhand and all over Bihar and as an election chief observer. Finally, I quit and became an MLA in Kerala. I am a member of Rajya Sabha from Rajasthan. My children grew up in Delhi. I was a minister for India. Where am I from? I'm an Indian. Very simple. Simple. I also happen to be a Syrian Christian from Kerala, the oldest Christianity in the world. 2,000 years back, we came to India. The most prosperous community in India. How come we survived? Very simple. The people of India, the Hindus of India allowed us to be here. They allowed us to prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, they allowed us to prosper. I very proudly say, we are more Indian than anybody else. I mean, people like Ram Madhavan who have traveled across Kerala know the Syrian Christians of Kerala is more Indian than anybody else. So Article 370. People say, why is it that this thing which is part of the constitution is taken away? Tell me, why shouldn't me, Kerala, has an Article 370? Am I not special? Those who are from Tamil Nadu here, your language is one of the oldest languages in the world. You have a different culture. Why shouldn't you have an Article 370? Why shouldn't Gujarat have an Article 370? Yes, I agree, Kashmir is beautiful, very special. So am I, so are you. Yes or no? Yes or no? Then we should all have an Article 370. Why? Why appease somebody for the sake of appeasement? Sorry. Modi government decided, sorry, we are all equal, we belong to India, let's have a sense of dignity that we all belong to India. Had the courage to do it. Absolutely perfectly right. And what does the media say? Why are you doing this? Because there are Muslims there. Yes, there are more Muslims in some other states of India than in Kashmir. Why? Why are we appeasing? I think historical wrong. I don't want to go into the background to blame who is to be blamed for that, but a historic wrong has been corrected. Citizenship Act. Let's come to that. This country belongs to us. We still have far too many people who are poor, who are uneducated, who are looking for a job. Sorry, the work of Modi government is not over. We've just begun. We've done amazing things. But is it over? Not at all. There's a long way to go. We have millions of people who are unemployed, who are uneducated, who are still starving. We got to look after them. Sorry. We cannot allow India to be invaded. It's very, very clear. Yes, we are liberals. We are human beings. We are liberal human beings who think of the world. Look at India. Tell me any other country in the history of the world who's provided refuge to people who were in trouble. Tell me. Anybody who was in trouble anywhere in the world, India was a place where they could take refuge. Because India had that kind of an attitude and said, when nobody else in the world believed it, we said, Vasudeva Kudumbakam, humanity is one. We believed in that. And we showed it through our actions. When Nazi Germany, the Jews from Poland were running away, they went to countries in Europe. They said, sorry, no place for you. They went to various places. Finally, they came to India, to Gujarat. They lived there. They were educated. Might do the same families come back to India now every year to pay tribute to India. That is India, a home to people who are homeless. Ladies and gentlemen, but can we allow our country to be invaded? There's so much of disinformation saying that this is against this community. Tell me one person from any community is going to be thrown out from India? Any person who is a citizen of India, is he affected? The answer is no. There is so much of disinformation being propagated. I was there in the morning discussion with the media. There is so much of untruth or falsehood being spread by the mainline media. Where is the mainline media today? Tell me. I mean, people who are sitting here for the mainline media. Where are you? You are just reproducing what appears on the social media, the fake news, the lies. You want me to quote you from my personal experience? The mainline newspapers with such so-called credibility reproducing things, exactly what appears on the social media. You don't even check. You don't even check. But the news appears in one of the leading newspapers saying, Mr. Alphons Kannandana, former Minister, Union of India, has been directed by a committee chaired by the Prime Minister to vacate his house. I said, I rang up the people, Delhi Bureau. They said, sorry, it was a Sunday, so we didn't see the news. It just bypassed us. So I ring up the headquarters in Kerala and say, how come this news appeared? Sorry, sir, it was a holiday to bypass our editorial and main news. Then I rang up the owner, how come? He says, I have credible information from two people that you've been asked to vacate your house. I said, here is my order, which is also on my phone, saying, this house is, I am allowed to retain this house. It's only a type 7 bungalow. I am allowed to retain this house. Here is the order. No, we have copy of the order, and the Prime Minister has sat on a committee. I said, the Honorable Prime Minister of India has no other work than throwing out Mr. Alphons from his house, isn't it? I have an order. Two credible sources, she says, I have front page, leading newspaper. Is there an apology? No, you send your bit and we will publish it next day. By then it is already got 10 million hits. What does Mr. Alphons do? What does Mr. Modi do? What does Mr. Amit Shah do? Please, for heaven's sake, do your homework. Sorry, who am I to advise the media, isn't it? You are all the biggest guys, isn't it? Who am I to advise? Sorry. If you want to take it or leave it. Simple. I had more than 25 editorials, from Times of India to Indian Express to Tribune to Assam Tribune to Indian Express to all Malayalam papers. I had editorials, not news, okay? So I'm saying with a certain authority, You want to take it, take it. Publish credible news, not what you want to do. Okay, we are against Modi government because you are right-wing. Tell me, is it a right-wing government, our agenda? Tell me, is it right-wing? Tell me any other government in the history of the world which has done more for poor people than Modi government. So are we right-wing? I'm so sorry. You brand us and then you hate us. Just because Alphons joined the BJP, I'm hated. Anything that he does, are you willing to object? Come on, let's be an open society. If things are done, let us accept it, that things are done. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this entire noise be made on Article 370. On citizenship, we are very clear. The old Citizenship Act remains that whoever wants to be a refugee wants to India, subject to the UN conventions, which is very, very clear. The 1951 convention has defined what a refugee is. Here it is. It says, someone who is unable or unwilling to return to their country of origin owing to a well-founded fear of being persecuted. Now, that's a key word. Persecute for reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group or political opinion. This is a 1951 definition of the 1951 Refugee Convention definition. India is still open. Our citizenship is not closed to such people. Let's be very clear on this. Yes, we are fast-tracked. We don't live in isolation, ladies and gentlemen. You look at the number of countries which have come out with citizenship regulations. See, what have those countries said? Do you have an open border? Anybody can just march in? Sorry. Let me also tell you, there's a massive danger of people walking into the country. I come from Kerala. Are you people aware that there are 4 million, let me call them guest workers in Kerala, 4 million guest workers in Kerala? Are you aware? I'm sure Liz is aware, from the Indian Express is aware. How many people are aware? We have trains coming into Kerala packed with people today, and there are 4 million of them today. Where are they from? Let me ask you. Let me tell you, my contention is most of them are from Bangladesh. Most of them are from Bangladesh. Where is this going to lead to? Tell me. Is this a country we want? But everybody can just cross over the border, pay a bribe, and you all know exactly what happens on checkposts, how they walk into the country, and you want them to be made a citizen tomorrow? Sorry. This country is not for invaders. Sorry, no. We need this country to be protected. We have a civilization, we have a culture about which we are proud of, and here is a government acting with backbone saying, yes, we are committed to this nation, to bring dignity to this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we can go on and on. You heard so much of debate on the Citizenship Act. I don't think we need to speak more. And thank you very much for inviting me. I'll be very happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.